Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all?
Oh, we on? Yeah, we on, man.
We on. Real quick. Shout out to my homie Miles. AJ Leno in the building. Dark Skin Effect. That's a new name and shit. Monogamous Player was good. Navin. The Paul 9559. Who else in here? I saw Renee was good with you, girl. Call me Jay. What's up? What's up? TJ, J98. All right, real quick, gentlemen and lady, and any other ladies that's watching in the back, just kind of hiding in the shadows, peeping and shit. We're going to go ahead and do what we got to do to let you motherfuckers know what it is. Stay tuned.
We're here to define what a man is, right?
Responsibility creates struggle, struggle creates strength, and strength creates structure.
How many people care about what people think about them? Be honest.
As a man, you got to be able to protect not just yourself, but your family.
When we talk about being a man, it's your behaviors.
But I don't say any of this to brag. I don't say any of this to gloat my life up or I'm better than anybody.
I start crying. I'm like, why am I crying? And so what I realized was...
You put yourself in a target-rich environment. You are the only woman that paid for a ticket to come to this event.
If you're trying to teach your daughter to be around a certain man and you're not that man yourself, she gonna choose you.
Hey, let me not touch this nigga. He too clean. Where is that on you?
It's not on me.
It's not on you. The only reason why it's not on you is because you didn't choose it.
Find the women who can actually help you build. And here's some deep game for you. You don't have to have sex with all of them.
Since 2016, I've been following Lucario and Miles. Y'all changed my life. Followed by Uncle Ram. So ever since then, I've been getting a little bit of too much ass at times.
You know, as a man, there's a balance to it. Your purpose and pussy. And the heavier your purpose.
Even if you lose the relationship, you don't lose yourself. And that's the most important part.
All right. God damn it. Every time I see that motherfucker. Look, let me check real quick. What's up, Justin? What's up?
What's
real
going
quick.
on?
When Lucario first put that on his YouTube channel, I watched it like 5 times in a row and shit. You know what I'm saying? It gave me chills. That's some real shit.
Yeah, man. What's up, Justin? How you doing, bro?
All right. So real quick, y'all, we are going to put up the number in a minute, but let us go ahead and go through our spiel. Because You know what's so funny? Dudes be calling too early or too late and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Call doing the meat and potatoes of the show when the shit is still live and shit. So real quick before we get it there. Oh, here we go. The masculine identity. So go ahead, man. Go ahead and plug that shit, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. Go get your soap, man. Y'all could get the soap on my Instagram. Go to Instagram, Miles in the Game on Instagram, Miles in the Game on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. And everything's there, man. You could get the link is a link tree. So we got the soap, we got the masculine identity membership, we got the bad boy membership, we got consultations, everything, man. So go to Miles in the Game on Instagram, Miles in the Game on Instagram, and get your soap.
And is there any other thing that you want to plug before we get into this?
Oh, yeah, the masculine identity membership, as always, man. The masculine identity membership, as always, man. I got the new joint coming out this month is going to be a continuation of creating a sexual identity, where I'm going to be putting a focus on dirty talk and how to use your words in the bedroom to increase the specificity and the uniqueness of your sexual identity as a part of your masculine identity. All right.
You're gonna experience her waterfalls talking like that. You're gonna...
Yeah, facts.
Anyway, so go ahead, Justin. Go ahead, man.
Nice.
You want to plug, fam?
Yeah, man. No, nothing to plug. I mean, if anything that I'm talking about today is inspiring and you want to get in touch with me, just go to my Instagram. That's Mr. Justin_X, and we can have a conversation on the back end. And I do want to say again that I tried Miles' soap and it's fantastic. It's a really good, straightforward soap. And you're describing it on one of your walks. What did you say? It was smooth. It was almost like there was lotion in it or something, but there's obviously not.
Right.
But
It's so
it was smooth, and it was so smooth that I used it to shave my head, and it works
nice.
out fantastic.
Perfect.
Bro, I used it
Yeah.
to save my balls. It was really that smooth, bro.
This nigga.
No, I didn't.
Again.
I'm lying. I didn't use it to do that. But when you apply it to smoothly shaved balls, it do feel
This
very
nigga.
wonderful on the
It's
skin.
good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, and it's not
Too much
perfumey.
information,
So if
dogs.
anybody has like allergies or sensitivity to odors or the things like that, it's really going to be good for you. I think if you're that kind of person.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Here we go. So let me plug the joint. Most men are clueless just how sexually uninhibited their woman is. Right? Now, here's the thing. I want guys to understand this is not about us saying anything bad about women. Okay. What we're really going to point out is how gullible and naive a lot of guys are, or just how unaware. And a lot of your unawareness or being naive comes from you, one, not really knowing yourself. Shout out to the masculine identity. But all of us have our own unique sexuality as men and women. It's like a fingerprint. We're all different in that regard. There might be some similarities, but we're all different. The problem with a lot of guys, when y'all first meet women, or not even just first meet women, when you're dealing with women, even in a relationship, not only do you not tap into your own sexuality, because you can go deeper, pause. You can go deeper, you know what I'm saying? But you don't tap into hers, okay? And what happens is there are either things that she's into that she's afraid to reveal to you,
Right.
or there's things that she would like to explore with you, but she's afraid to mention it to you, okay? And that could be because you're gonna judge her. Because here's the thing, once you meet women and you have a conversation with them, they can kind of tell if you're that guy they want to share shit with when it comes to their sexuality, right? Or if they want to bring something to your attention that they felt like you've never done and they've never done, and they kind of want to do it with you first, some women are afraid to bring that up for fear that you might think that they were cheating or that they have a high body count because they want to explore
Where'd you
that.
learn
with you.
that?
So in just a moment, and I'm gonna let these gentlemen talk, but in just a moment, I'm gonna show you a clip and I'm gonna show you 2 Facebook posts where it's just some written shit to kind of explain and get a little more in depth with why I came up with this title. But you gentlemen got it.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick that it's crazy how a lot of guys, when you ask a lot of guys like, hey, so why do you want to, like, why are you even on my channel? Why are you asking me questions? Why do you talk to women? Why do you approach women? Why are you on these dating apps? The main question that you hear is, oh, I'm trying to smash. I'm trying to have sex. And it's just so, a lot of times it's so disingenuous because a lot of men don't understand their own sexuality, much less a woman's sexuality. And the fact that we get all of these debates about body count and promiscuity and all of this different type of stuff concerning the sexuality of women lets me know further that it's because these men don't understand. And shout out to Joe Blast for the $10 super chat. He says, honor to my brothers and get Miles soap. Yes, he was one of the first. He was one of the first to make an order, and he bought some at the damn seminar in NYC. So shout out to Joe Blast. But yeah, a lot of guys, the fact that they have so much, trepidations and so many issues lets me know that a lot of guys are very insecure about their own sexuality. You understand? And the thing with a woman's sexuality is that when you open her up and you realize how freaky a woman could get, to a lot of men who are not comfortable with their own sexuality, it could be, I would say scary, but no, it could be terrifying for these motherfuckers.
Intimidating. That's a good word too.
Right. Terrifying and very intimidating. Right. Because once they see how sexual the woman is, they start to think to themselves, God damn, like, can I even satisfy this bitch? Like what the fuck is going on? And see, that's the thing where it's like, see, sex is one thing. Antonio Wing Chun, yes, got your order too, man. Appreciate you for copping the soap. Sex is one of those things where you really have to have faith in your masculine identity when it comes to contending with the sexual appetites of women at times. You understand? And here's what I mean. Now, look, if you're dealing with a woman that just wants dick and she don't give a fuck where it's coming from, then that's one thing. Because you do have some women like that, right? Where it's like they don't care. They're willing to fuck anything, anywhere, anyone. You know, they're probably nymphos, or they just have a crazy sexual appetite, and that's one thing. But in most cases, especially when you're in a relationship or if you're dealing with somebody, you have to have faith in your identity, because you have to understand that when a woman says she wants your dick, you have to take that seriously, and you have to respect it and understand that, yeah, anybody could fuck her. You understand? Anybody could thrust inside her vagina, but you have to trust in your identity to understand that she wants to feel you. You understand? She wants to hear your voice. She wants to hear you breathe. She likes the shape of your cock. She likes the size. She likes the way you grab her. She likes the way that, the way that you smell. She likes the way that you taste. She likes the taste of your semen, whatever it is. You understand? I don't want to get too graphic, but the point I'm trying to make is that you have to trust in your identity, because once you show a woman sexually that you're not confident in your identity, a lot of things go out the window, bro. Like she loses a lot of sexual attraction towards you, because she's thinking to herself, I'm looking at this guy and I'm excited by his identity. I'm excited by who he is, and I want him sexually. But and the whole time she's thinking to herself that she's dealing with a sexually confident man, and that's a part of the reason why she wants you so much. But as soon as you start to act weird or insecure, and so did you come, and what about the other guys that you had sex with? Were they better than me? And what's your body count? And did those guys were they bigger than me? And once you start to do all that type of shit, she looking at you like, yo, who is this guy? And you're totally fucking up my fantasy now, because I wanted you to fuck the shit out of me tonight, but now you're asking me these questions and you're drying my pussy up, and it's horrible. So what I'm saying is, guys, is that you really got to trust in your identity, because there's a big difference between when a woman says she wants dick and when she says she wants your dick. But you got to just.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't contend with anything that you said there. And I would like to just expand just a little bit, and then we'll get into that clip. But the thing about wondering where she's been and what experience she has, that brings about that insecurity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because largely speaking here, women say, like, the average 30-year-old woman, she's going to have way more sexual experience than the average 30-year-old man.
Fact.
And that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So her palette is greater than his, her palette of experience. Okay. And so when he comes through, most guys, their awareness is going to be of that, or at least be wondering about it or worrying about it. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're going to have some part of their consciousness is going to be aware of that. And then that's where the problem starts, where you just start thinking a thought that you're not even sure even exists, that you're trying to suppose that's in her mind. Right. So your mind is leaving your mind and trying to figure out anything that's going on outside of your mind. And then that really starts making things crumble mentally. And so then you start trying to measure up towards this fantasy Adonis, huge dick guy who knows how to do everything. Right. And then you just get smaller and smaller and smaller. Like your character, your identity, how you feel about yourself just keeps shrinking, and she can smell it. Right. And it's just like with any other things, like when you guys talk about just in regular calls, not sex based, but where the dude calls in, he says certain things, and they're these little blips, these little markers that show how they're thinking. Mm-hmm. Right. And you take that little word and open it up and show the mentality behind it. Women can do that too, very easily, very, very easily. So they can hear little things that you say to get an idea of how you think. And then they're like, nah, all right, this guy, I can't say that I like my feet sucked on. He's going to think I'm gross, right? He's going to make fun of me. He's going to be all judgmental. I don't want to deal with that. And maybe she'll go through with having sex with him, but it's just going to be regular stuff, Like it'll just be like a regular lay, and whatever, it'll be done, or it just won't happen at all. Mm-hmm. So I think that just the judgment comes from worrying about what knowledge she has and thinking I can't measure up to that. and then either ducking down or trying too hard.
Right.
There we go. That's facts. That's facts. And before I get into the clip, I just want guys to understand that this is why we all talk about you guys being judgmental and worrying about that other shit, because it really hampers your ability to have a fulfilling relationship that also involves a sexually fulfilling relationship. But as we get more into this shit, you're going to see exactly what the fuck I mean. So let's go ahead and hit this clip right here.
You gotta be able to stomach anything.
What percentage of women do you think that had a train ran on?
Oh man. Hey, I'm gonna let her answer that. I have no idea.
95.
95?
I mean, we got a lot of
friends. Was that like a normal thing when you was growing up? Like just like, hey man, you're like, I done had 2 buddies over here.
Yeah, growing up, I got a lot of friends.
We're talking Chicago here.
Yeah, I mean Chicago. Yeah, it's a lot of people that experienced when they was young.
Yeah, the bus down.
So yeah, they was going through. Yeah, that was the norm. It was okay, but not okay. It's like if you know, you know. If you don't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think they do it when they, everybody do it.
You gotta be able to tell you anything, dog.
Yo, look at his face.
Yo, look at his face.
His face. Okay, first of all, let's be clear. It's not 95% of women.
No.
It's not. Yeah, I do got an echo. I'm trying to figure that shit out. Okay, it's not 95. Now, for her, it might be 95% of the chicks she hung with that experienced it, but it's not that high. Now,
right.
I will say it's more common than you guys think, though.
Right.
I'll say that much. Okay, and I often said this, and I'll say it again. Between the ages of 12 years old and 18, I either observed or participated in 6 gangbangs. Okay, just in that. And I ain't even counting the 20s when I graduated high school. I'm talking about as a teenager. So what I saw was, damn, these chicks, boy, they own something. So it's more common than you might think, but it's not 95%. But the way that he looked at her suggested he was shocked. Okay, and what guys have to remember, right? Especially women. Okay, women tend to experiment a lot more sexually than men do. You know what I'm saying? That's why they typically at some point they have a threesome in college or some shit like that, and either they decide they like it or decide they don't. But damn near every woman I've ever met, you know what I'm saying, that I dealt with extensively, not necessarily in a relationship, admitted to at least trying it. You know what I'm saying? At least once. You know what I'm saying? So what guys have to remember is that women do experiment. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, when it comes to a woman's vagina, and I think Lucario talked about it, all the different nerve endings they have in their clitoris compared to, so there's so many different ways a woman can orgasm, way more so than a man. You know what I'm saying? So when you experience all those different types of things, you want to see how far the rabbit hole goes with that shit. But what's you guys' take on it?
Yeah, the 95 is definitely way out. I do not believe that's true at all. And also I think people got to understand the difference, or like actually like what a train or a gangbang is, you know, because you got 3 people, that's a threesome, 4 is a foursome, but I think 5 and up, like if it's just like one woman and 5 dudes and more, then you're getting into a train or a gangbang, right? But if you just include anything more than just 2 people, yeah, I mean, it might even be 95% or 85%, because then you're including threesomes, right? You're including foursomes, things like that. And yeah, I mean, college, holy shit, man, the things that go down in college on a campus, you know, because a lot of these girls, you know, they're coming from really, really conservative families, you know, and they say that the best way to make a hedge grow is by trimming it, right? So they spend their whole youth being, you know, trimmed and having a real strict family. You know, they get to college and they just explode. And I tell you, in college, the freakiest girls I've ever been with were the staunch Christian girls who grew up in like rural Pennsylvania.
Facts.
Holy shit. Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, but you know, his surprise made me think you should, just as a man, no matter what she's saying, all right, even a sexual conversation or not, all right, do not be surprised by anything a woman says. Anything. Nothing. Right? If you've never heard it before, pretend like you've never heard it before. And if you have heard it before, you shouldn't be reacting in that way in the first place. So just remain cool, open, and non-judgmental towards everything a woman says. Do not be surprised. You got it.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, really, really, man. Like, I think guys got to learn that, bro, because the look on his face was, you see, okay, to the average person, the look on his face is projecting some type of judgment on that woman. You understand? Where it's like, oh, well, you know, she's a closeted freak. She didn't share things with him because look how surprised he is and blah, blah, blah. But see, if you are initiated in the game, you know that the look on his face means he don't know how to be a man in the fucking bedroom. You understand what I'm saying? He doesn't understand how to, because look, this whole thing about women being the gatekeepers of sex, I still contend that men are the gatekeepers of everything.
No,
you understand? Now, just because a woman has a lot of experience or she been through gangbangs or she done threesomes or she did some crazy stuff in her past, understand that somewhere along the way, it was men that orchestrated those situations. And as a man, I have to look at it more like I'm a representative of the species that cultivated her sexuality. You understand? So even if I'm in a situation where I'm hearing this for the first time, I'm not going to show my disillusion. Do you understand? I'm going to understand that she's a woman and there's some man out there that saw her that wanted to do some freaky shit to her. And she probably did it at some point. She explored her sexuality at some point. So I can't act like I don't know what's going on in these streets. And so many men, it's so interesting how they might look at any average woman on the streets and say to themselves, oh yeah, she a hoe, she a thought. But then they'll look at their wife or their girlfriend and act like, oh yeah, my girl is a good girl. She would never have done no threesomes. She would never have done no gangbangs. And that's a mistake. That is a fucking mistake. You're supposed to be able to say to yourself, that girl over there is a hoe. She over there is a thought. That girl over there is a slut. Oh yeah, and my wife too. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you need to be able to say that and not even feel bad about it, because that's the thing. Like, bro, these chicks they're exploring. I've had conversations and all of that crazy shit that you used to do as a kid. Every time your parents leave, you up in your parents' porn stash, rewinding the fucking VHS back to the point where it started because you don't want your parents to know you was looking at this shit. And I've had
I remember that shit too.
I've had conversations with women about this shit. Like, oh, you used to do that shit too? Hell yeah, I used to do. And I used to touch myself, and I used to do this, and I used to do that. And I'm like, yeah, because I discovered masturbation in the shower. She's like, yeah, me too. So we're go ahead.
My bad. Just real quick. Hayes with the $9.99, and I got a story to tell based on what you just said, Miles. But I'll wait till you finish your point.
No, it's really finished. I'm just saying that all of the freakiness, all of the different things that you ever thought about with sex, trust me, women have thought about it. They've been through it too, and because we as men are the gatekeepers of sex, understand that those guys that are not judgmental. Right? Those guys that are not insecure and inhibited by their own sexuality, those are the guys that will have shown your woman in the past that fucking experience. Yeah, see Renee talking about that shit.
See, she know. Look, let me tell you something. I remember I was living in England at the time. So for those of you who don't know, my father was in the military. So I spent my whole childhood moving around all over the goddamn place. So we were living in England at the time, and we skipped school. I think I was 13, maybe 14. And we skipped school, and it was a few girls and a few guys, and we was at somebody's house, because it wasn't my parents' house, it was somebody else's house, and we was watching porn all day. That's what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and this was before 2000. So I want guys to understand this was a long fucking time ago. So I want guys to understand that a lot of these women, they watch porn. They've been watching it. They've been seeing it. So although they may not have actively participated in having sex yet, they've seen shit.
Right.
And they kind of know what they would like once they start doing it. Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, what's that? This is why when guys be talking about, getting virgins and shit, let me just say this. I did a video some time back, and I talked about how a woman was a virgin until she was married, and she lost her virginity on her wedding night. But for a whole year into her marriage, her husband could never make her climax. And she ended up buying a sex toy, and that's the first time she ever climaxed. And she was it was on ebony.com. It was an article on ebony.com, and she was talking about how she had already heard all of these things about sex. She had already seen porn. So she had already had an expectation of how it was going to be. And it wasn't what she thought it was. So she was disappointed. So guys automatically think, oh, I can have sex with a virgin and it will be the best sex she ever had. Wrong. That's not true. Okay? Just because she's a virgin doesn't mean you can make a climax. Doesn't mean she's going to be like, oh my God, no. It's a story. I got it on the joint. Check it out.
If it's bad, what she'll think is, really, that's all this is?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what all this talk is about?
Right.
Really? Oh, I'm gonna go back to doing the laundry.
No, and it's sad because so many dudes claim they want a virgin, but her being a virgin doesn't guarantee sexual chemistry or compatibility.
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? Especially if she's a virgin, because let's just say as a guy, you don't know what you're doing either. So you don't know what you're doing, and she's feeling this for the first time. And from what I hear, it's not the most comfortable. It's not the most comfortable thing. And if you really don't know what you're doing, it'll be even more uncomfortable unless you know how to be, patient, gentle to a certain extent, and know how to use your body in a way that, of course, it's going to start off uncomfortable, but you know how to, gauge shit and make it comfortable for her. You understand what I'm saying? But most women, they'll tell you their first time wasn't that great because they were also dealing with an inexperienced dude. You understand what I'm saying? And then
and pain.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of discomfort. Because let me tell you, from what I understand, it's like there's a reason why nature and God or whoever you subscribe to made women have a higher threshold for physical pain. I mean, number one is definitely for giving birth. That's obvious, right? But number two is for sex. You understand? Because you think about it, like the female body has to be able to take whatever size dick she's getting. You understand? Because when you meet somebody for the first time, you don't know what they got in their pants. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, man or woman. You understand? Because I've seen and experienced all different types of pussies. You understand? I've experienced like shallow pussies, deep pussies, super wet pussies. Not so wet, all different types of shit.
Yeah. Now I know I can't monetize this video. Go ahead, Miles. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you. I wasn't gonna monetize it no way, but go ahead.
Big clitorises, small clitorises. Some chicks can't even find the clitoris. You understand what I'm saying? So it's so many different things. So the point I'm trying to make is a lot of these dudes is like, oh, well, she better have a low body count. And I've heard it on these podcasts. Well, every man wants a virgin. And I'm like, no, we don't. Idiot.
No, I don't. I dealt with a couple when I was in high school, and I don't want them problems. No.
I've had virgins, and they're a pain.
Yes,
they're a real pain.
Literally,
because there's all right. So you're not really going to be able to understand this until you've had an extreme on both ends. A woman who has extreme low sexual experience and a woman who has extreme high sexual experience. The one who has the high experience is going to be more comfortable with herself. She's going to be more comfortable with her body. She's going to be more comfortable with the sounds that her body makes when she's having sex that she cannot control. All that squelching, squishing, all the gawk noises and all that.
Beautiful sounds.
She's okay with that. She's okay with the mess. She's okay with the drool and the spit and the squirting and the occasional things that happen. She's been through enough and then said, okay, this is what happens when I'm having good sex.
Right.
When I'm free with myself and I let things happen. The girl who has very little experience, she's so hammed up in her head, right, that nothing's going to happen. It's going to be work to get her to relax out of her own mind just enough so that she can find the experience more pleasurable. Right. And you're going to take a lot of time having to do that. Now, granted, if that's something you want, you don't want to mess with that. Good luck to you trying to find a virgin. Okay. Right. And so, but if that's your thing, by all means, go hunt for a virgin. But I'm telling you, if you get with a woman who's got experience and you don't judge her, things are a lot easier. Things are way more relaxed. You can have conversations in the middle of sex. You can be joking around in the middle of sex. You can play and do all kinds of different things, shifting it up from, nasty to dirty to joking to role play to whatever. And it's free. It's like improv the entire time, right? You can do whatever you want. And because she's okay with herself. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a huge difference. I'm never going to be with a virgin ever again in my life. I don't care if you stack 20 of them in front of me.
While having sex. Yeah, girl, we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna need you. You're gonna pay for this. You're gonna pay for
pussy farts, the guy said.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm literally planning a vacation. You know what I'm saying? So hold on real quick. And I ain't lying either. So $5. He says they only care about body count in the US. Once they go abroad, body count is the last thing on their mind. Well, see, I'm glad you said that. But let me bring your shit back up. The reason why, and these are probably the passport bros, the reason why they make a big deal out of body count in the US is because they're not getting sex. But when they go abroad and they're paying for it, now they're getting sex, so it's not that they're not judgmental, it's just they don't have as big as a gripe as they used to have because they're finally getting it. The sexual frustration isn't there. Y'all have to remember, a lot of these guys that complain about women on the internet, they are sexually frustrated. YouTube is literally a cesspool for the sexually frustrated male, period. Because guys that are having it their way and are getting what they want, they don't have nothing to complain about. What the fuck they gonna complain about? In fact, they might complain about a chick called me too much. Like, goddamn, girl, chill. I just saw you yesterday. Daddy, I want it today. You gotta wait till next week. That's what niggas gonna complain about when they getting it. But anyway, man.
And guys, remember y'all could call in. The phone lines are open, man. The phone lines are open. So we got 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Phone lines are open. Y'all can call in. Something with that I want to say too about, especially a lot of these guys on YouTube, man. And for you guys who are looking for advice and you're looking for, somebody to follow or somebody to at least look up to as a coach or to take advice from, in any case, you have to, like, whoever you're following has to have a balanced perspective. And what I mean is, if whoever's content you're paying attention to, if all they could talk about is negative experiences or women who are whores or promiscuous women, and that's the only thing they could talk about, and they never talk about, man, I had really good experiences with women, sexually and otherwise. Like, I've been on great dates. I've had great relationships. If you don't see any of that, if there's no balance to their perspective, then you have to be really, really careful. You understand? You have to be really, really careful because, it's one thing to have a philosophy about dating and relationships, but if you're only talking about negative experiences, then that says something about your mindset and the type of advice that you can actually give to someone. So just be careful with that.
My thing is, are you getting dating advice from a person who don't date? Are you getting dating advice from a person who ain't out there like that?
Right.
Or are you getting advice from a person who's frustrated because they're invisible to women? They can't give you dating advice. All they can do is give you dating complaints. Okay, there is a distinct difference. But let me go ahead and jump into this real quick. So this guy says, this young lady says, because a guy posted it to this Facebook group, but this young lady says, so my boyfriend and I have sex once a month. It's not like I don't like sex, but I don't want our relationship to be centered around sex every time we meet. Hold on, I got to move this out the way. My bad. I'm fucking up. Okay, all right. Let me get back. Every time we meet, I love him very much, so I need to set standards for him to see value in me. But deep down, I crave sex every day. Recently, I've been seeing this guy. I don't love him, and I don't see my future with him, so I feel comfortable having sex with him every day. I don't mind if he sees me. I got to move this too. All right, there we go. I don't mind if he sees me as a whore. I'm just using them to satisfy my urge. Okay, now let me tell y'all something about this. Okay, hold on. Let me take this off. And if y'all need me to put it back for any reason, then let me know. Hold on, real quick. God damn it. Give me a second. All right. Here's the problem. I'm gonna tell you where you guys can end up exactly in the same situation that woman's boyfriend is in. When you pedestalize women, right? And you be like, no, I'm not gonna bring up sex. You know, she's a good girl. I'm just gonna wait for it to happen. And you're not honest about who you are sexually. Then what happens is, based on the way that you're treating a woman, she sees that you pedestalize her. She sees that you see her. Remember that Mano clip where he pedestalized that chick? And then what happens is, because you look at him in a certain way as the quintessential good girl. Now, this is especially if they actually want to be in a relationship with you, right? They don't want to destroy your image of them. Right. So they will conceal or repress who they really are sexually from you. But then what happens is, they still want to express their sexuality, but because they can't express it with you, they'll go outside the relationship and express it with a guy who either won't judge them or where they don't care about being judged. So what I'm telling you guys is, when you deal with women, you have to be a sexually confident man and be honest about what it is you want. And that madonna-whore complex shit, that's what she's talking about. She got one guy who's like, no, I don't like sex like that, but I love you. And he cool with once a week, but the other dude probably hitting her the other 6 days. But y'all got it.
Well, yeah, you there's a couple things. You mentioned something about the madonna-whore complex. Women also have something similar that a friend of mine, Coach Brody, he's on YouTube. Check him out. He's a pretty smart guy. He calls it the gentleman gigolo complex.
Shout out to Brody.
And that's kind of like where she's at, right? And the lady who made this post. And if you notice something really important that she said, I don't mind if he thinks I'm a whore.
Right.
She straight up said that. I don't mind if he thinks I'm a whore, which means that, just generally speaking, part of her mind doesn't mind considered a whore, considered being a whore. She doesn't mind that, right? It's a matter of who is minding it. Okay. It's the guy who is, whoever that guy is, right? Just how he is. She's like, I don't really mind. It doesn't bother me. But the man that she's with, if he called her a whore, it would sound and feel totally different, because he'd actually mean it, or he wouldn't say it with love in his voice, right? Because there's a certain way you can call a woman a whore and it makes her feel wonderful. And there's a certain way you can call her a whore and it makes her really, really hurt, right? She gets pissed off.
Can I add this? So this is okay. So I want to talk about this and then take it to my main point, because my main point is about the leadership or lack thereof in the relationship, right? But here's the thing. She says, I don't mind if he sees me as a whore. See, I would even add this. That statement to me is sort of a lie. And here's what I mean. She already sees that, based on the character of the guy that fucks her more often than her boyfriend, that he doesn't think a whore is a bad thing. So her relief in saying, I don't mind if he sees me as a whore, has everything to do with his leadership and character when it comes to sex. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I'm kind of saying the same thing that you're saying, but I just want to break it down to the point where we're talking about leadership. We're talking about the character of the perspective of the man that she's looking up to. You get what I'm saying? So the reason why she can say, oh, I don't mind if he sees me as a whore, is because she already knows that, based on his character and the way that he carries himself as far as sex goes, a whore is not a bad thing. So she can say that confidently. So even if anybody on the outside would say to her, well, you're kind of acting like a whore, she takes comfort in the fact that he's the one fucking me and he doesn't think a whore is a bad thing, and he probably doesn't consider me to be a whore anyway because of the way he treats me in the bedroom. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and let me just, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So now that segues
into what I'm talking about as far as leadership. Her main boyfriend, he is the type, he's the judgmental type. Do you understand? But guess what she did? She co-opted, because she didn't trust his leadership. She co-opted it and said, well, I'm cool being in a relationship with you, but I'm going to dictate the terms of sex since you have all these insecurities and hangups, and I know you might judge me and call me a fucking whore for wanting to fuck every day. I'm going to co-opt the leadership when it comes to sex, and we only going to have sex once or twice a month now because I can't trust your leadership. You get what I'm saying? And this is guys always tell you this. In any relationship, especially with women, either you're leading or you're following. And in this situation, she became the leader at the very least sexually. Maybe we could explore the relationship and find other ways that she's leading the relationship. But in this situation, she's definitely leading the relationship sexually. And she co-opted it to make sure that they only have sex a couple times a week, just so she can maintain her pride or identity in the face of his judgmental, perspective. But you got it, Justin.
Yeah. Pardon the interruption. What I wanted to point out was that she already deems sex, based on what she said, she already deems sex as something bad, right? Because she said, I don't mind if he thinks I'm a whore. Okay. So by that statement alone, sex has a negative spin for her. So we're also revealing how she relates with herself sexually, which means
sexual repression. But go ahead.
Yes, which means, to your point, Miles, about leadership, all the men she's been with previously, including the man she's with at that moment,
right,
has led her to have that mentality.
Exactly.
About herself.
Exactly.
Because when you're a man and you can lead properly, and you get a woman to be that open and that vulnerable, you can now take her to other layers of herself. You can bring her to parts of herself that she did not know existed. Maybe she fantasized about or had like an inkling of a feeling or something along those lines, but you bring her to a state of being that she did not know. And that's when liberation happens, right? And it's not an act either. Right? She could be still doing the same actions. It doesn't mean that she becomes kinkier or whatever. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's the state of being that she's in and releasing the judgments of herself, right? And start following you, which is non-judgmental, which then frees her up to be more open, to follow more, to be more vulnerable, right? And it's like, so this little clip there, it revealed there's so much, there's so many layers in there. And she absolutely has judgment of herself because every man that she's been with has never led her properly.
Exactly.
And that goes, and this is what I want guys to understand. When women get into a relationship, they want the best of all the worlds they can get. They want a man that will allow them to be them. Your sexuality, I want guys to understand something. When you're judgmental of a woman, okay, basically you're shackling her sexual inhibitions.
Right.
She can't be her true self with you. So imagine you're married to a woman and she's cheating on you with a dude. He don't pay no bills. He don't take her out on no dates. He don't do nothing that you do. But he knows your woman better sexually than you do. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens for all, when guys talk about body counts and that stupid ass parabon and shit. My thing is, you guys don't understand how your mindset can literally put you in a situation with a woman who conceals herself from you. And you're none the wiser. You won't know. So this is an example. I know women, multiple women who have told me personally where they've been offered dates, where a guy offered them a date and they told the guy, how about we skip the date and just go have sex? Most women are not going to do that. Okay, they're going to take the date. And then what happens is maybe when you're on a date, you say something stupid or goofy and they decide, you know what, I was going to fuck him, but now I'm not. But also what happens is you will have women that they might like you. So they might start dealing with you. And then once you reveal that you have a negative attitude about something, about women, especially about women, if you have a negative attitude about women and sex and women pick up on that, they're instantly going to shut down in a sense. They're not going to really be down to explore anything with you sexually beyond, just like I think Justin said it earlier, beyond the basic sex shit. But all the freakier shit they're into, they're going to hide that from you. Like me personally, I want women to explore their sexuality. So for me, like if I'm having sex with a chick and we're having sex more than maybe 2 or 3 times where it's becoming a regular thing. My thing is, I always take them somewhere in public so we can get it on in public, because not only do I want them to feel like they can show their sexuality to me, but I'm trying to get them to release shit. Show me who you are. So I'm gonna show you who I am. And also by me saying, oh, we're in this movie theater. You got on a skirt, take off them drawers. We're gonna go sit in the back. I want you to sit on this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting her to also release her sexual inhibitions and say, oh shit, he want to do this right here? Like I remember one time I had a chick, real quick, and I'm gonna pass it to you guys. I had a chick, and we left the movie theater. So when you leave the movie theater, you know what I'm saying, you're at the side of the building, it's kind of dark.
Right.
So I had her up against the brick thing. I had her, you know, suspended in the air, you know what I'm saying? And there were people walking by looking. And I'm like, I'm trying to protect her and cover her up. She was like, I don't care, don't stop. And I'm like, the people looking, I don't care, don't stop. And I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So me taking her there to say, I'm gonna give it to you right here. And then once it started, I can see her sexuality, her freakiness coming out. Like, I don't care that they're watching. Let them watch. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring that up. Y'all got it, man.
I think the worst that could have happened was you get thrown out of the movie theater. You know? So if you let go of the idea of like, oh, you know, somebody's going to see me, it's like, you're never going to see these people ever again in your life. Never. Right. And so, you know, like the worst thing is like they come in with their flashlight and say, hey, you guys get out of here. Right. Just be free, man. Do what you want to do.
Right.
There you go. So Alicia in Rec with the 9, he says, thanks, Justin. Sex is a God-given human right, and it is God-given. That's why we're all here, and shouldn't be labeled as something negative by certain man-made ideology belief. No, it is. It has been, because look, y'all have to understand, if you go back through the history of time, at least modern time, men have been trying to control women and sex forever. Okay, and right now, what guys are seeing is that it's backfiring. You can't, now some women will be susceptible to ridicule and all that type of shit, but for the most part, a lot of them are gonna be like, fuck y'all, I like it and what? And guys don't like women who are that brash with it, in my opinion, based on what I've seen.
Oh, you guys know about FGM, right? It's a big problem, not here, but in Africa and the Middle East, female genitalia mutilation.
And
they'll go in there and they'll cut off the clitoris of little girls.
Yeah.
And it happens throughout, say like Eastern and Western Africa and the Middle East. And, you know, this says like more than, I'm looking at a report here, BBC.com. It says there's dark areas on the far western coast, like where Africa kind of has that horn that kind of sticks out towards the north. It's all dark over there. It says more than half of women have their genitals cut. And then on the opposite end, on the eastern side, all the way over there towards Saudi Arabia, it's all dark. More than half of the women have their genitals cut. So they mutilate the clitoris so that women cannot receive any pleasure. Now, guys hearing that go, whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? The same guys who are judgmental. But you got to understand, you guys are born from the same seed. Right. You guys are from the same seed. They just took it to an extreme, but it comes from the same place of being afraid of a woman's sexuality. Yep. Right. So your judgment comes from the same place of those dudes who are cutting up women's genitals. Right. Understand that. You got to drop your judgment of women's sexuality, man. It's messed up.
I agree. So we're gonna roll on to this next joint. And this is a buyer's beware thing for all you guys that think you can be in a relationship and be poly. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys ain't mentally ready for this. Let's go. So hold on. Let me remove this. Let me remove that and the number. Okay, all right. So polyamory was my husband's idea, but now he doesn't want to do it. Hi guys, I'm struggling and just need some advice. So my husband first brought up the idea of polyamory to me, and I wasn't sure, but I gave it some thought and decided we would give it a shot, or I would give it a shot. We both got on dating apps, and he found a girl, I found a guy. I love my guy, and he is so supportive of the polyamory. He, on the other side, meaning her husband, has been struggling with finding other girls that are also okay with polyamory. He gets extremely jealous when I go hang out with my guy. Tonight, I wanted to go hang out with my guy, and my husband told me that he wants out of this lifestyle and for me to stop talking to my guy. I guess the most confusing part of it was it was all his idea. What do I do? Look, let me tell y'all something.
He thought he was that dude, and he realized he wasn't.
Go ahead, Justin. I'm gonna let you go first, and then Miles, you go. I'll go after all of y'all. Go ahead, go first.
He thought he probably had like a couple of matches somewhere already, and was like, "All right, I want to keep my wife, and I'm gonna see if I can get these girls." But then when he brought it in, he had said, "All right, let's create this new arena, right?" And she's like, "All right, cool, let's go," right? Because he led her to it, right? He led her to it, and then he couldn't keep up. Because he's not that dude. He probably has zero game, obviously, because he said he's getting jealous. So he has zero game. His identity is fucked. He probably most definitely has no mouthpiece. He can't fuck for shit. And now he can't even attract any of these girls to be in this polyamorous situation. And he's sitting there with his dick in his hand while his wife is off going having fun. And she's like, "I thought you told me to go have fun." Right? Yeah. Oh man, he fucking shot himself.
That shit is hilarious to me. Miles, go ahead, Phil.
Nah, yeah, that shit. See, and a lot of guys, they're not ready because remember, chicks, well, it's kind of tough, but it still depends on his leadership, right? Because if he's not focused on what he's doing, if you stand there and focus on what your wife is doing and you're not focused on what you're doing, you're not going to get as many chicks as you thought you was going to get. That's number one. You understand? So he's looking at the fact that she found somebody and it's all good and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's just the luck of the draw. Also, a woman is always getting some type of offer somewhere anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So once you open up that door, just understand that your wife is going to get much more offers for relationships, for sex, for anything. She's going to get all that attention much more than you will, because that's just the way the scales are tipped in society, right? So you open up that door, that's what's going to happen. Now, if you're not focused on what you're trying to do, if you really don't, like you said, Justin, he thought he was that guy, but he really wasn't. You understand? If you're not really that guy, you better become that guy fast or fucking lose your relationship, bro. Because what I would tell her to do, because she's basically asking for advice. What I would tell her to do is she needs to leave his ass alone, because he's a weak dude and he's only gonna show himself to be a detriment to her overall confidence. In general, he's going to be one of those judgmental dudes that's going to make her have a negative connotation, like we were talking about before with the other chick, about sex and about her own sexuality and about herself as a woman in any case, right? So, because notice how she said her guy is so supportive. You understand? So her guy is gonna be more attractive to her regardless, because he has more of a positive attitude on the entire situation. Meanwhile, her boyfriend has a negative perspective on the situation. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Zach.
No, so guess who's better to be in a relationship with now?
Exactly.
The other guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is and it goes with the title. Most men are clueless just how sexually uninhibited their woman is. The husband didn't realize that. He didn't realize, because this is what a lot of guys do. When they initially decide, I want to open a relationship up, they're just focused on sex, on them. Oh, there's some pussy I can get. They're just focused on that part, right? What they're not focused on, let me rephrase it. Okay, they're focused on that part, but what they don't take into account is how they're going to respond to what happens with the woman. So when your woman gets a hairstyle she never got before for a new dude, when she buys a brand new outfit to go out with a new dude, when she gets her nails painted a different color because that guy likes lime green and you don't, but she's doing it for him that night. You know what I'm saying? Or when she come home and she's too tired or too sore, you know what I'm saying, to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Guys aren't prepared, you know what I'm saying, for the fact that now she could still love you, but she could meet a guy that she's way more sexually attracted to than you, and where she has way more sexual chemistry than you, where she literally meets a guy that can turn her out because you never did, but she's staying with you because you love her, right? So what I want guys to understand is, because see what he did, he opened Pandora's box, but he can't close it back. Because that's why she asked for advice. So let me tell y'all what's going to happen, right? She is not going to go back to the marriage the way it was. It's not going to happen that way. Okay, what's going to happen is she either going to cheat or she's going to leave him because she likes her new life. And I said all that to say this. All you guys listening right now, listen to me. Let me look at the camera. You're either married to or have a girlfriend that would do the same thing she did. If you bring up opening a relationship, she would be down with it. But you don't know that because you don't know your woman well enough to know that she would say, let's do it.
Now here, I'll say one thing though. You know how in other shows you say when you're a man and you got really good game, one of the biggest problems is getting rid of a woman. So I'll put you on some game. If you're in this problem, okay, if you're one of these dudes, one of us very few, a great way to do that is to open the relationship, because now someone else can unburden the attention and all that stuff that's coming onto you, right? So if you're one of these guys, you want to figure out how to get back some airtime and some space in your life from this woman who's trying to get up, crawl up on your back, fuck me, take me out, have fun with me, do all this, do all that. Open up the relationship, right? Have some other dude, take some of the labor, right? So so that's what you want to do that. But I think this guy, when it came to poly, he probably had like an ill-conceived notion of what poly was, right? And he probably thought, oh, poly just means like people are just like fucking all over. They're very like easygoing. They're open. They don't have as many barriers as other, just like non-poly people. He probably just came into it like a lot of preconceived notions, and he probably thought it would be easy. Okay. But here's the thing. No matter what situation a woman is in, no matter how she identifies or how she wants to express her sexuality, she's still a woman at her core.
Right.
So if you can't fuck with her at her core, then you're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what lifestyle she's in. If she thinks you're a loser, or if she can't get turned on by you, by your presence, by the way you talk, by the way you move, she's not going to move. She's not going to budge from where she's at. She's like, nah, I think I'll pass. And that's what all these women did to the guy. And he's like, shit, I thought this was going to be easy, and I'm getting passed up left and right. I want my woman back. And it's like, well, too bad. Now she's getting dicked down. Sorry.
What it exposed his insecurities, because he had them. They were already there because he probably thought, man, I'm going to do this open relationship thing. I think I got her on lock. I ain't really worried about it. Because he probably thought he was King Dingaling or whatever he thought, you know what I'm saying? And then she got out there and he realized, we've never skipped having sex 3 days in a row. What's old buddy do? What's going on?
Right.
I've been asking you to wear that hairstyle. You told me no. But he likes it. Oh, hell no. Don't see that nigga no more. You know what I'm saying? So the reality of the fact that, see, again, and I'm gonna bring it back to sex. He thought it was just about sex for him.
Right.
But for his woman, it wasn't just about sex.
No.
That was part of it, but that wasn't, because at first she was hesitant. But I think her being hesitant was like, I don't know if he's for real.
Or like, are you sure about that?
Was like, I don't think his bitch ass can handle it, because he don't see what I'm about to do when I get out here. Right, I'm about to show him how I really move. Because when we was dating, I kind of concealed shit from him.
Right.
But now, if we're gonna have an open situation, he gonna see how I get it in, and he couldn't handle that shit.
Right.
No.
I'll say another thing about leadership and like just overall like positive outlooks, positive reinforcement, and just good leadership in general. See, a good leader encourages the strengths of his followers. You understand? A good leader encourages growth, encourages confidence in whoever's following him. Right. So when you again, and I said it the other day, right, where people look at the same thing and they'll express it differently. Right. So I'm wearing a black shirt. right? So the average person might say, well, Miles, your shirt is not white. Miles, your shirt is not green. Miles, your shirt is not red. And then you have other people who are more direct and more objective and positive, where they say, Miles, your shirt is black. So even just in the language that I used, right? Miles, your shirt is black, right? I didn't use any negative words. And on top of that, my message was more direct. And there's no possibilities for anything else to say. So the average person who would say, Miles, your shirt is not white, your shirt is not red, your shirt is not green. That's just a lot of negative jargon and a lot of unnecessary, wasteful rhetoric trying to describe my shirt. So what do I mean when I say that? So a leader is concise, a leader is direct, and a leader has positive rhetoric, right? Positive reinforcement, efficient language, efficient communication, right? So, and when I look at the example of the relationship that woman was in, she seemed to be with a guy that was looking at his relationship and was trying to figure out what it wasn't, instead of looking at his relationship with her and trying to figure out what it was. And so because of his lack of efficient communication, he decided to add another layer to the relationship that he wasn't even ready for. You get what I'm saying? So now she freed herself up to actually meet a man who is the guy that would tell me my shirt is black. You see what I'm saying? He is the guy that would be supportive. He is the guy that would be a good source of confidence for her. You understand? So now automatically her original relationship starts to fall to the wayside, because now because of being able to see what actual leadership looks like, what confidence looks like, what a man who's focused on what something is looks like. Now she's able to see everything that her man is missing. You understand what I'm saying? So guys have to be very careful, and this is why we talk about masculine identity. This is why we talk about manhood as a skill set. You understand? This is why Mr. Justin is out here, giving consultations on the back end. You always say, talk to me on the back end. So that's why I'm saying that. But this is why we do what we do, because too many of us, and this is why I talk about masculine identity. Your masculine identity talks about what you are. Let's stop wasting time talking about what we're not.
Yeah.
That was
well, and just real quick, a quick point, just to point out just another little structure in that, and there were so many layers of stuff in that, just like the previous one. In his negative approach to that, okay, in his revealed judgment, in his revealed insecurities, his revealed fears, it just makes that other situation that much tastier.
Mm-hmm.
Every time she is on that guy's dick, he just made his dick bigger, better, more pleasurable, vibrating, heat-inducing, right? Shit, his dick probably talks to her, right? Right through her body.
Right.
For every level that he is like, no, that he wants to tamp her down, okay? It just makes that guy that much tastier. Now, shout out to Steve, where he talks about free will.
Right.
When you give him free will, hey, go. You want to go do? All right, cool. Go do what you want to do. Be free.
Yes.
Right? Be free. If you're that dude from the beginning, they're actually less likely to want, because to the opposite of that, like, because you're not trying to hold them down, so they're not trying to run away. Right? And he's like, why isn't this guy trying to hold me down and control me and tell me what to do, where to go, and who to spend my time with? And it's like, well, wait a second, what's he doing when I'm not here? That's so she's less likely to be wanting to, of course, there's other layers. Like, you got to be fucking her mind and fucking her body and, bringing her to herself on deeper levels and stuff like that at the same time. But just to kind of distill it to just the free will part, that alone is a powerful thing, but you can't fake it. You actually have to not care for real, not care, and allow that freedom to exist. And she's going to be thrown for a huge loop, because no one does that. No guys do that. They're like worried and shit. And she could think that even if you don't say anything, you think that she can't smell that worry on you.
Right.
You're playing yourself. They can pick because women have been learning to pick up on subtle social cues since they were like 5 years old, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this is what the guy did. Okay, when he brought up the polyamory thing, he released her when it came to whatever sexual repression she may have had. So basically, he was like, "Go ahead and be sexually uninhibited." He wasn't prepared for what was going to come from him releasing her. It's kind of like when people own a pet lion, and then when that lion attacks them, it's a lion. Okay.
Yeah.
It's showing you what it really is. So once he said, "Yeah, we're gonna open this relationship up," she was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Because she understood. Because she knew I'm that bitch. I'm about this. You know what I'm saying? So now what happens is he's trying to put the genie back in the bottle. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to her being sexually uninhibited, and she like, "No, nigga, no." So now, and the reason, because she's between a rock and a hard place where she doesn't want to lose her marriage, but she doesn't want to lose her freedom sexually either, because now she has it.
Right.
Here's the thing.
Because he led to another layer of herself.
Exactly.
And she doesn't want to lose that layer.
Exactly. So he gave it to her. So he gave her that new layer of herself, right? And she's cool with it, and she will always love him for it. But what she's gonna hate him for and resent him for is now you're trying to take it away. But this guy over here, he's accepting of it. So by him being jealous, she has no choice but to gravitate to the new guy now. Because now she gets to be herself with a guy who's accepting of it. And I said this either last week or the week before that. Women will love you forever if they can be themselves with you. If they don't have to hide themselves with you. If they can be free, like I can be myself, I can be quirky, I can be corny, I can be silly, and I can be as sexual as I want to be with him, and he still love me for it. Show that to a woman, she will always fuck with you. Y'all got it.
Yeah. You guys ever hear the story about the snake? Go ahead then.
I just want to do the guys, call in 919-647-9392. We only gonna be here probably for another 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So 919-647-9392. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, just that story. You mentioned the lion, Zagan, and you guys ever hear the story about the snake, right? And there's a story about this woman, and she was walking along. It's an old parable, very old, and she finds an injured snake, right? And she's like, "Oh, I can't let the snake just like cook out here in the sun and die a slow, agonizing death." So she picked up the snake out of the grass, brought it home, and started caring for it, right? And slowly over time, a couple weeks, like nursed him back to health. And then one day, he was back to health, and she's like, "Oh, cool!" Like he's moving around, doing his little snake thing. And she goes to feed it or something like that, and it bites her. And she's like, "Holy shit! Why did you bite me? I picked you up out of the grass. You were on death's door. I nursed you back to health." And he's like, "Bitch, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up." Right?
Yep. The moral of the story is I am who I am and I do what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because you have a different vision of what you want me to be based on what you're doing doesn't change who I am at my core. I need you guys to understand that shit. All right? So one of the things I want guys to get out of this, and let me just repeat what Miles said, 919-647-9392. Call in. I know you motherfuckers got something to say. I know you do, because I know a lot of guys that they don't agree with this type of shit. Well, women shouldn't be like that. It's okay if a man is like that, but women shouldn't be like that. Come on, man. Call in.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to call in just to make sure the lines is working, because
Yeah, shout out to 1950.
Yeah, that's it. It's working. Lines are working, guys. So, hey, shout out to 1950, man. 1950 is going to be one of the speakers at the Game Kings 2 seminar in Vegas, man. So shout out to Mr. 1950, man. Yeah.
There you go. Now, I'm not going to be a speaker, but I'm going to be there.
All right.
And I saw the joint earlier, Miles, where you were talking about all the different benefits guys get paying for the tickets.
Yeah.
The cigar bar and all that. I'll be paying for my own shit. It's cool. I ain't tripping. But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there every step of the way.
No. Listen. The cigar. If you gonna be there, you there at the cigar bar. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I really want to meet 50 and Steve in person, but I also want to see my boys Miles and Elle again. You know what I'm saying? It was a great experience.
Yep.
But I also just want to be around real motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too many real individuals in the world that you actually get a chance to be around. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be around that energy. You know what I'm saying? But also a lot of you guys I haven't met yet. I look forward to meeting you guys. So I'm gonna be out there tripping. You know, well, I don't want to say tripping, because tripping implies a negative shit. I'm gonna be out there kicking it.
Vegas, baby. Hey, listen, no. So just so everybody knows, right? So Friday night when we all touch down, we're gonna have a cigar bar meet and greet. You understand? From 9 to 11. I'm not gonna disclose the location because you have to get VIP tickets to get that. But all of the Game Kings who want to be there, all of the Game Kings is invited. You understand? Is invited. You understand? And y'all are part of the tab because we have to. Vegas is. Every fucking thing about Vegas is money up front. So understand that it's a whole tab situation involved, whatever. So all you got to do is show up. You got cigars, you got drinks, you got whatever you want. You understand? But yeah, any of the Game Kings from New York, y'all are invited. That goes without saying. Plus all the Game Kings for Vegas, everybody's invited. And by the way, you should all know that Steve the Dean is definitely on the docket. Mr. 1950 is definitely on the docket. And we just got confirmed Afi Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Passport King Afi, you know what I'm saying, is on the ticket, man.
Shout out to Afi.
You understand? So yeah, man. And who else? Of course, Mr. Lucario and myself will be hosting it. So, you know, we all gonna be there at the cigar bar meet and greet. And then on Saturday, we are also doing a we're gonna meet up at like I said, a disclosed location because you only get the location if you get the VIP tickets. But we're gonna be doing basically an infield like boot camp that evening where we just gonna be out there approaching chicks, you know, working on mouthpiece game and all that other type of shit. So if you guys want to practice your mouthpiece and practice your approach technique, make sure y'all get your VIP tickets, man, for real. Be there in Vegas or be square. All right.
And that's happening in September.
Yeah, September.
Labor Day weekend.
All right.
So I know I'm flying in that Friday, leaving that Monday.
Hey, Justin, if you want to come through, man, you invited too, brother. If you want to come through, man, bro, you know, just let me know.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I got to be there showing up. So shout out to Afi. Shout out to him. And also salute real quick to Miles and Lucario. They putting this shit together for you guys, right? I want y'all to understand, and I don't even know the true totality of what they do behind the scenes, but it has to be a large undertaking to do this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Man hours, money, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So these guys is putting this shit together. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up because we're gonna talk about this tomorrow on a Real Game No Theory. Me and Steve been talking about the title.
Okay.
You have certain YouTubers who they just want to benefit from your pain, but they don't want to offer no solutions. Right. You have men that are offering solutions and they're putting their money up on the front end. They're putting their money up on the front end so guys can have a real solution. So when we talk about Real Game No Theory, understand that theory is just a thought. Oh, an opinion about this, that, or the third. Okay, when we talk about game, we're talking about practical application. Hey, we got some information for you that you can use. If you apply this, things will change. It's not to say that you're gonna be better than that man or this man, but things will change if you fucking listen and apply the fucking knowledge. Thanks. A lot of these people, they just take advantage of your pain. Y'all got it.
Right. And that's the difference between being a content creator and being a mentor, right? Because mentors, they take their life experience and have changed themselves and then can have put that into a learnable experience and are willing to share it, right? Now, granted, we've got businesses are surrounding this, right? So there's a fee attached to that learning experience, but the point is that we have it. We have the experience and have been able to cultivate our lives in such a way that we can help others cultivate theirs in the way that they want, right? Versus just standing around and gathering like this satellite information from other content creators and then just regurgitating that, right? and because they just want to get big on YouTube or whatever. And hey, you know, if that's their game, fine, right? But you're not going to have any kind of growth. You know what I'm saying? And like I've even put my shit on a sliding scale, you know, because it's like, you know, we're on a mission to helping dudes, right? We see so much suffering, like the guys have put it on themselves, tremendous amounts, right? So we're in the game of changing people, right? Making happy, strong men, happy marriages, happy relationships, right? And I put my shit on a sliding scale, right? I'm just like, no, you got to pay this, or if you can't afford it, get the hell out, right? No, I mean, this, like, I'm not like a, you know, a big retailer or something like that. But so I've helped dudes who can't really afford it. I'm like, hey man, let's get you on like a payment plan or something, because your life is not going to get any better until you take certain actions. So let's set something up. Let's figure it out. Let's put our heads together as men and create something that you can start changing your life. You know, because if you don't take any action, nothing happens. Nothing.
Let me say this real quick. Okay, and this is why when we talk about the masculine identity, for instance, or manhood as a skill set, or the man mindset, everything, first of all, before you can become successful at anything in life, you got to be a man first. You have to have a certain type of a mindset that men have. You have to be able to adapt to things that change around you. Okay, we live in a world where just this constant change, constant evolution, constant growth, constant maturation, right? The problem with a lot of this advice you guys hear, they don't really take into account that you don't know who you are, or you not knowing who you are, rather, is the root cause of your problem. Shout out to the masculine identity. You not knowing who you are, right? So a lot of guys, they have a lot of theory, right? But they're not practical about their opinions when it relates to what they think about. They're not practical. You know, one of the things about men is we're solution based. Okay, I'm not the first person to say it. I won't be the last. One of the things that if I'm in a relationship, for instance, and I have a woman, and she comes to me about a problem she has at work, the first time I'll let her vent. I ain't gonna say shit. I'll just let her vent. If she comes to me a second time with the same fucking issue, I'm going to create a solution for her. If I create a solution for her and she don't listen, she cannot come to me a third time. I don't want to hear that shit no more.
Facts.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be dumped on every day about the same shit, because there's a solution to your problem. You just want to bitch about it. You don't want to change anything, because sometimes change requires you to be uncomfortable. It requires for you to make a sacrifice. And that's the problem, because far too many people are fucking complacent and lazy.
Right.
We tell you guys, you got to make some changes. And part of the changes you're going to make to your personality involves people looking at you different. It involves coworkers, families, and friends, and people looking at you different and be like, man, you got this new thought process. I ain't really feeling you. I don't think I can fuck with you. And you have to be okay with them walking away from you.
That's facts.
And say, this is the new me, though.
I'll say this real quick, because somebody asked, the Vegas show will have a live stream option, but yeah, just go to the link, go to the Eventbrite link. It's in the chat. Go to that link, and all the information is there. And another thing I'll say too is that we will be enforcing the dress code more stringently this time. I let a lot of dudes, you know, Lucari and myself, we let a lot of dudes kind of get a pass. You know, it was the first event, so we didn't really it was a lot going on, and we didn't really think about it like that. But if you guys show up in fucking, you know, old beat up hoodies and dirty jeans and shit, like some of y'all did at the New York event, you will be turned away. You will be denied access. You will be denied entry, and you will not get a refund. The first thing that it says on the Eventbrite is that there's no refund for this event. So just know that, guys. Because see, the thing is, you know, it's not about being mean. It's not about threatening anybody. It's not about you know, anything egotistical that you might think. What it's about is creating an experience. You understand? We're trying to create an experience for men. You understand? And as men, we have to express ourselves and choose what we want for our realities, even down to what we wear. You understand? So I can't have one guy, you know, choose you know, a 3-piece suit and you know, and shoes and everything and perfect grooming and everything, and then have him sitting next to a motherfucker wearing basketball shorts and sneakers. You see what I'm saying? It's just not gonna fucking work. You understand? So if you guys don't respect the dress code this time, you will be denied entry. You will be turned away with no refunds. You understand? I'm just letting that be known now, because I know, and it's not gonna be me. It's not like I'm Miles Cunningham trying to, be on some enforcer shit. No, security will be handling everything. You understand? So it's not about me, trying to prove some point or some dumb shit like that. Like I said, we're trying to create an experience. All right, guys. So there's a dress code for a reason. So really do your best to look your best, to show out. I mean, it's Vegas, for God's sakes. You understand? You want to come to Vegas looking really dapper, really sharp. You know what I'm saying? We want to dress like men out here. All right.
Well, let me say this on the strength of what you just said, Miles, and to piggyback what you just said. What type of I want to ask guys this: the guys that are having difficulties having dating experiences or whatever, what type of dating experience do you want, and what are you willing to do within reason to get that dating experience? Because to me, how I feel personally, Miles, even in New York, because you gave it to niggas in the audience all day. When them niggas showed up, you pointing them niggas out. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you got on? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Miles took it easy on them. No, he let them niggas know. Now he couldn't point out every nigga, but the niggas that stepped up to the mic, they got pointed out. You know what I'm saying? But this is my thing with guys. Much like the New York joint and the Vegas joint, you want women to take you seriously, but you can't take learning manhood seriously.
That's what I'm saying.
How does it work?
It's crazy, man. Like you and that same guy, because if y'all watch the trailer where I said to him, let me stay away from this dude because he's too sharp, right? And then I looked at the guy, I said, where is that on you? And he said, it's not on me. The dude, I mean, we didn't put the Q&A people on camera, but this guy was wearing a crushed up flannel button-down shirt. He had on old ass dusty looking jeans. And when I say look dusty, I mean they look like he could have thrown them in the wash. They were.
And you asked him, how long have you had them fucking jeans? I remember you asked him that shit.
I said, those jeans look like you had them for at least 3 or 4 months, and you wear them almost every day. And I said, how long you had those jeans? He said, you're right. I had them for about 4 months now. and some beat up fucking shoes. Now listen, guys, if you're in financial, shambles right now in your life, I get it, but if that's the case, then save your money. Pay for a live stream ticket or something. Don't show up to the event like that, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I said to him, I said, where is that on you? He said, it's not on me. So he agreed with me. Okay, guys? So it's not like I'm just casting judgment because he had a piece of lint on his shoulder and I'm just being nitpicky and shit. No, this guy came in there looking bummy, okay? To his own admission. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to have to look at any of you guys and say that shit. I want to be able to look around and say, yo, we got a room full of sharply dressed men. That's what I want to do. You understand? That's all.
And there was a couple of dudes that they were dressed to the nines. They did. You could tell some dudes, they put a lot of care and a lot of thought. And I'm not talking about nobody that was on the panel. None of the game came. I'm talking about dudes that were in the audience actually was like, you can tell this dude was like, I'm about to represent.
Right.
But the majority, though.
Yeah, the majority of dudes, man, y'all really was on some like old clothes, like dirty clothes, like bummy clothes, like no thought, no nothing. And it was just disgusting. And I said to myself, yeah, I'm not doing this again. I gave dudes a pass on the first event, but it's not happening this time. And if that means there's going to be less people sitting in the room with us, then so be it. You understand? But again, there's no refunds. So the money's already been collected. And I think Renee said to let you know about some hotels near the event. Listen, the place is literally three blocks from the strip. Like literally 3 blocks from like the MGM, like right there on the strip. It's really not far at all. Like it's, even if you look at the Eventbrite explains that the location is off strip. It's an off strip Las Vegas hotel. It's near Koval Lane, Las Vegas. So it's right there. It's right there on the strip, man. Right there on the strip. It's not, you can literally walk from the hotel that we're having the event at to the strip, like straight walking distance, like literally 5-6 minute walk, not even, you know what I'm saying? So we're right there in the middle of everything. So get your tickets, man. And again, I just want to make sure I'm not making the actual venue all the way public. I really just want the people who buy tickets to know exactly where the place is. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't put the full address, because I don't want nobody. This ain't a type of event where you can pay for admission at the door. Like, only people that hold tickets will be allowed into the venue.
And I just want to say that off of Koval, spelled Koval.
Yeah,
It's historical. That's where Tupac got shot. You know what I'm saying? Back in '96. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to point out it has a historical reference and shit for any Tupac fans out there. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let y'all know, for anybody that's watching Dear Mama on Hulu, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought I knew everything about the nigga, but I'm learning shit. I'm like, I ain't even know all this shit, especially about his mother. His mother was, she was a trooper. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the back planters. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. But anyway, y'all got it.
Yeah, man. So and we got the bios from all the guest speakers and everything. So hit the link, man. Even if you just want to read up on it, man. If you hit the link, if you just want to read up on it, we got the VIP options explained and everything like that. Just check it out, guys. Just check it out. And call in if I don't know what's up. Guys ain't calling
these niggas are scared today. Normally we have all types of heat, you know what I'm saying? Or we got dudes who don't.
Well, maybe it's because the subject is so far beyond their knowledge that they can't even have anything to push back on, right? So we could talk about dating apps and they'd have something to say. We could talk about things said on YouTube. They have something to say, right? They talk about dating a little bit and they'd have something to say. But understanding the vast limitlessness of a woman's sexuality, they got nothing to say because most dudes have no clue. Like it says, clueless. Most dudes have no clue the vast landscape that is inside a woman. No clue.
You know what, Justin? I saw you posted a clip, and it was you, and it was two young ladies. They were kind of at the top of the stream. It was four of you guys. And
That was
you were talking about
crygasms.
That
was on the block with Jem. Yeah, crygasms.
And when you were speaking, and in just a minute, I gotta go take a piss. And I'm gonna pass it to you. If you can kind of explain, Miles be like, this nigga always saying too much shit. Anyway, if you can kind of talk about what you were talking about, because when you were breaking down all the different things that women got going on, and those women were like, yes, and this is. When we talk about masculine leadership and not being judgmental, I think that goes into that, because you're talking about women being chaotic. And when you're dealing with a chaotic dude as a woman, you're like, this is just one more pile on top of shit that I already got. I'm looking for a dude who I can release myself. I can chill. But you got it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was the show called On the Block with Jen. She's real cool. She has late night shows, and anybody can come up onto her panel. She's very open and just like lets anybody chill. As long as you're cool and you're not going to troll and you're not going to be disrespectful, she'll let you come on and just talk about whatever. And so Fridays is Freaky Fridays. So we get on there and we talk about sex and things like that. And I'd asked about if my friend Haran, because he's into the BDSM lifestyle as well, and I said, have you ever experienced crygasms, right? Eliciting a crygasm. And I broke it down that, women have this huge amount of stress inside their heads, right? And it's jumbled up, it's chaotic, it's always moving. And there's a lot of voices. There's a lot of voices of her friends, her family, mom, dad, your pastor, your boss, past lovers, and then all the 12 freaking multiple personalities of herself that are in there as well, all fighting each other. And it's this chaotic mess that's happening in there on a daily basis, causing stress, causing fear, causing anxiety, causing all sorts of stuff, right? And not only that, is then they have a layer on top of that made to manage that so they can get through the day and not come off as a freak, right? Not come off as someone who's unbalanced and can't handle the, just daily life, right? Now, some are more extreme than others. Then they have to take medication. They got to go to therapy, and some are a little more subdued than that. And, things are okay, more manageable. But either way, there's going to be some kind of chaos. Right. And when she's with a man that opens her up and opens up the vulnerability within her to the point where he is leading through all of that, and he starts chipping away at the hardness, because all that chaos turns into this hard mass that's inside them, and a man can chip away at that hard mass and cut through it or soften it, and then he pierces through and can bring her to a deeper experience of herself, such to the point where she has this extreme release of all of that shit that's inside her.
Right.
And sometimes this turns into a crying orgasm, where it's like, you see similar experiences of like people at church, they just get into this like trance and they just start releasing, they start laughing or crying or falling down or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it's just this enormous release of everything that's inside of them. And then this happens in sex too. But it's like, you got to be that guy who's not in it just for a nut. You're in it to lead. That is the reason why you're there. You're there to lead. And that is it. You're not there to get a nut. The nut's going to happen. Like, I don't even think about having an orgasm, right? Sometimes I have it. Sometimes I don't. It's not a concern. It's not like it doesn't matter, right? I care about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. Right. And then that takes her deeper through. And then to me, the pleasure is seeing her go beyond, seeing her open up and seeing her release. And, it doesn't always result in crime, but yes, in some instances, it will result in a crying orgasm. And the thing is, and here's the real linchpin, you get to this depth, whether it's crying or not, you become anchored within her. You become an anchor where you are now being associated as the source of her inner peace, right?
Stop.
You become the source of relieving her of the chaos that's inside her, because you're leading through, and basically you're taking her consciousness and saying, hey, chill out, come with me, relax, come with me.
Justin, you're giving him too much, bro. You're giving him way too much, bro.
Well, I'm not giving the how. I'm not giving the how.
Okay,
I'm giving the what.
Make him do that. I saw
like, just the depth of what you just said is like just a little bit too much. But go ahead. That's event shit though. But go ahead.
I saw a video that was sent to me by one of my followers, and it's a Twitter joint where it's this guy sitting next to this chick, right? And she got his name tattooed on her ass. They're not in a relationship. And she basically said, he said he has a lifetime access to this. And if I get with another guy or I'm married, they just got to understand that he can always get it. There are a good number of women that got at least one guy.
Yeah.
Like that, where anytime he calls, I remember Superhead. I don't remember her real name.
Karen Steffens.
She said that of Lil Wayne.
Yes.
She basically said if she got a husband or a boyfriend, she let him know up front, if he ever calls me, I'm leaving the house and I'm going to him. Most women have one guy that just got him like that, where that guy got him so much up here and here, because it starts here first, but with the body. Like what Justice was saying, that guy has unlimited access forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just imagine that dude's name is Bob. And the other dude's hitting it from behind. And he's like, "Why you got a B and a B tattooed on your ass? I don't get it."
Man.
Yeah, I'm a dad, so I can make poor jokes like that.
It's all good. So, but I want guys to understand, and it's not just the sexual component is part of it, right? When you can reach a woman, it starts here though, right? Because a lot of guys, they're more concerned with the physical. Oh, I got this joint, I'm about to pull out and put it on her. But also it starts from, I guarantee you, the guy where she got, because her friends were questioning her, why did you do that? And she was like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. This is his. Always. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we got 4473. You're on live when the Man is a Skill Set Show. What's going on? Name, age, city. What's going on?
Hey, it's Art from London calling.
Art, what's going on, Art? Good to hear from you, brother. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Art? What's up?
Good. Good. I just wanted to chip in because this topic is very, very telling.
Okay, real quick. All right, I did get your emails. I don't think I didn't get it, or your whatever it was you sent me. I got it. But go ahead.
Yeah. I appreciate, no problem. But yeah, no, I'm not going to take too much of your time. But it's my whole opinion about women's sexuality is me as an individual. I've always been very relaxed with people. I'm a people person, so I accept people for who they are. I don't judge people. You see what I'm saying? I treat people with respect. And that's beyond like sexuality. It can be your boss, it can be family members, friends, so on and so forth. So when I'm dealing with women, it's the same thing. And I met a woman a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just being myself, we're chilling, talking this, that, and that. We obviously had sex and anything, but after and before we were just chatting. And you'll be surprised the amount of things that women will divulge to you if you give her that kind of space to be herself. But I think a lot of people, they're just way too judgmental.
Right.
And I'll also say that a lot of men don't have creativity. They don't think with like a creative mind, because I'm an artist. So I don't see, obviously I'm logical. I'm a male, I'm a man, but I have the skill to paint a picture in your mind. I can take it to places through my words, through my actions. Sometimes you don't have to say things. You can just let like a little hint take a girl's mind a certain place. Is a way how you interact, so on and so forth. But a lot of men are very, they're very carnal. They're very, like Justin was saying, they just want to get a nut. So they're just thinking about that one thing. They're not thinking about the bigger picture of the situation. So what I'm trying to say is, be creative when you deal with women, and also just let them come as they are. Like I always say when a girl comes through, like, these four walls is a safe space. Like whatever you say is going to be, kept confidential. It's like a no judgment zone. So like they can, be themselves, say what they want to, what they want to say, be how they want to be, and it just works well for me. To be honest, I've never really been in a situation where I've judged a girl, and even if I hear things I'm not ready to accept, I'm not perfect. I might hear things like, oh shit, this is quite intense. But there's a way you carry yourself. There's a way you handle that kind of information. You treat it with respect, and they'll respect you for it. So that's all I got to say.
Man, that's pretty good insight, Art, man. How is it out there in London, man? Are the girls super uninhibited out there? They real freaky out there?
I don't know. Like London is a bit like, I'm assuming like New York, in the sense that it's like a lot of artists, a lot of people traveling. There's no set demographic, but in terms of dating, it's very cutthroat. Like I'm on an app called Field, FEELD.
Yeah.
And if you really want to get red pilled, quote unquote, sign into delete your Tinder, get Field, and you'll know women's true nature. I'm telling you, like it's crazy out here. But London in particular is a very cool place. Like you meet a lot of people. I would say people are a bit less kind of constrained when it comes to sex and stuff. That's what I'll say, because I feel like American women seem to be like, I'm not saying like they're different, but it's a lot more like on the down low versus here where you can be open with it and no one really judges you.
Right. Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that. I got another guy. He's on my Discord. He has a date. He has like 3 dates a week. You understand? He be on my Discord asking me questions because he's dealing with so much, and he has a main girlfriend. It's so crazy.
I'm not surprised. Like the culture is it's like a very small, England is a very small place, and the culture is so diverse. So you have a lot of different women and men from like different kind of backgrounds, interests, cultures. So it's like it's a good place to visit. And I really hope that one day the Game Kings come to the UK, because I believe that there is space for that kind of information here. Definitely,
that would be a beautiful thing, man. That would be a beautiful thing, man. Definitely. Yo, look, listen. Nothing's impossible, bro. Nothing's impossible. So just stay on the lookout. All right.
For sure.
We just gotta make sure the audience can support that shit.
Yeah, facts, man.
That's gonna be a pricey.
Something like that. We'd have to promote that shit from the previous year. You know what I'm saying? So everybody they get their plane tickets and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And I haven't been in England since I left back when I was a kid and shit. So I look forward to going back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, UK is small and there's a heavy concentration of population. So it's a lot going on.
It's for people who don't know. Like the entire island is about the size of Texas.
Exactly.
It's small. It's really small.
Yeah, it's
So,
smaller.
yeah, but yeah, London is packed, man.
It's a world hub for so
What I
many
would say,
cultures. Yeah.
one last thing that just came to mind is I was chatting to an Australian girl, and she was saying that she got called approach. I mean, she didn't use that terminology, but she said that a lot of men approach her more in the UK versus when she was back home in Australia. So maybe there's something in that, like a lot more boldness when it comes to the guys in general.
Right. Yeah, man.
Well, from what I've heard, Australia is more like the US. In terms of
Oh, Australia is very. I did a video talking about real quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, Justin, but I do at the same time.
No, I'm done.
I know I did a video because I was talking about how a lot of guys think that U.S. women are the most promiscuous, and actually Australian women are way more promiscuous than U.S. women. You know what I'm saying? So I did a video breaking that down, and it wasn't to shit on women. It was to let guys know that there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of propaganda being perpetuated in the media about the Western world or Western women or American women or even black women to a degree. And my thing is, not everything you heard is the truth. You know what I'm saying? The women are freaky everywhere. Okay, they love dick everywhere. Like, I don't know why guys think that like only U.S. women behave in a certain way and everybody else is cool. Right. And I want to point out this real quick, because this also is a misrepresentation of women. Guys think that when women, like for instance, in America, what are women are? You see a bunch of twerking videos, right? So you see a bunch of videos where they're out there in front of your face with shit, so people just assume shit. Right. In reality, some of the most promiscuous women are the most quietest ones. Are the ones who don't make no waves. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't go to bars, they don't go to clubs. But they are just as promiscuous, if not more, than the girls who do. But y'all got it.
So hold on real quick. Shout out to True Sav for the $20 super chat. And Art, is anything else you want to talk about, or you have any questions?
No, I just appreciate that a lot. I say it all the time, but you guys really changed my life. I really appreciate it. I want to support with the soap and the cop that.
All right.
And yeah, just keep it up, Zach and Justin and Miles. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, and there is for those in the UK, there is international. I have it set up for people in Canada and for people in the UK to order the soap. So go to the website, milesinthegame.gumroad and order your soap, man. Or you could go to my Instagram, Miles in the Game on Instagram, and hit the link, and everything's there for you. 401, I saw you calling in, but you hung up. But if you still out there, call back 401. Call back. All right. And everybody else, 919-647-9392. 919-647-9392. Appreciate y'all.
Brian, everywhere there are promiscuous women. Now, you can make the argument that this country or this continent, there are more promiscuous women per capita. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more. Look, y'all need to understand. Look,
it's only on the surface, though. Like the conservative it's only on the surface. You get them, it doesn't matter. Like, you get them down, and they all can open up. The vastness that I was talking about, that's inside every single woman. Every single one has that vastness. Doesn't matter what you see on the surface.
Let me explain something to you guys, right? Because there was a live stream that you and Lucario did, Miles, where a guy, I think he named Yemen and he named Saudi Arabia and some other countries. First of all, Saudi Arabia, they have a bunch of rappers come. Okay, they have a bunch of rappers come and do videos. Okay, what's that one video that nigga Fabulous did back in the day? Cuffing season. Cuffing. Look at the video. Look at all them chicks in that club. They weren't black. They were Muslim. You know what I'm saying? You don't think them chicks is getting it in with them rappers when they come to their motherfucking country?
Right.
Yes, they are. I want guys to understand something. There is a difference in women who they're more public with their promiscuity and women who hide it. There's a difference. Okay, when you talk about whether it's a liberal country or a conservative country, there are going to be countries where it's a little more tolerated than other countries. Of course, if you're in Iran, Iraq, Yemen, and them countries, of course they're going to suppress it.
Right.
But when they suppress it, those women are sexually repressed. Okay, this is why you got honor killings. Okay, this is why you got women buried in the dirt and they stoned to death because they know that women are still women. This is why, Justice, shout out to you. You mentioned the cutting off of a woman's clitoris because they know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They know the truth about women and sexuality, and they don't want women to explore it and express it because they feel like the society ain't ready for it. Right. They're not ready for how freaky and kinky and nasty and just women are sexy. They ain't ready for that shit because guys can't handle it.
Yeah, nah, for real, man, for real. See, women. See, I tend to think that I was like hypothesizing why a part of the reason why women have a higher threshold for pain and why a woman's sexual inhibitions are, you know, once you get past a woman's sexual inhibition, her sexual identity can be so vast. And I think it has a lot to do with nature, right? And what I mean is I think nature designed it where women were still willing to have sex even after seeing the product of sex. Because what's the product of sex? The product of sex is that for the next 9 months, you got a human growing inside you. And then you have to push them out, risking death and everything. So ultimately, what is a woman saying yes to when she's saying yes to sex? And why is her sexual
potential of death?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so like as men, men think about sex all the time and we love sex. Right. But when women really want to fuck, bro, like they really want to fuck because they're staring in the face of death.
Let me get it. Let me get it real quick. This is why I brought up honor killings. Okay. And I know during the 90s, especially on the East Coast, when you're talking about Boston, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, there was a string of women who were maybe first generation or second generation Muslim women where their fathers were killing them, right? Because they were having, number one, they were having sex outside the context of marriage, right? But they were also having sex with non-Muslim men, black men, white men, whatever it was. So these young girls who were teenagers, they knew I faced the possibility of death if I defy my father. But my sexual attraction is so strong, and my of exploring my own sexuality is so strong, I will risk death to fuck him.
Exactly.
You can't compete with that.
And naturally, they're risking death any damn way. But yeah, man, definitely. 401, you are on the Manhood is a Skill Set show with Mr. Justin, K. Zagan, and Miles. Name, age, and city. What's up?
28. It's Ethan, man.
Oh, Ethan, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, man? How's it going? How's it going, bro?
Just let you know, I'll be in Vegas. I'm doing the VIP option A.
Okay, that's what's up.
This nigga, he gonna suck a Vegas trying to swing on niggas and shit.
No.
I'm joking.
We ain't gotta put that out there. Hello, Ethan. Hello, Ethan. Thank you for.
I'm joking. It was in bad taste. My bad, Miles. My bad, Ethan. It was in bad taste. We all good. Let's go.
Did you already purchase your ticket, Ethan? Did you already purchase your ticket?
Yes.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, as long as no one gets disrespectful, I'm good, bro.
So so what's your question today?
So about the promiscuous women and like girls being horny and stuff. I just want to let you guys know, if you're unaware, that a lot of females, like my sister, like we were just talking about it at a birthday party, like it was like towards the night, like a lot of women are on like these birth controls that does not make them like horny. Like and they like are not even as horny as much. Like
let me say this about women on birth control because I've dealt with a few women. A lot of times, depending on the woman's makeup and body chemistry, they react differently to birth control. Like you might have one woman that might gain weight, and then you might have another woman who can't even have a period for like years. You know what I'm saying? So depending on their body makeup, birth control fucks with them differently, or it can fuck with their libido, where their sex drive plummets. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. But
there's a number of different ones nowadays. Okay, so when birth control first was popularized, it was largely hormonal based, right? It was hormonal birth control. Now there is non-hormonal birth control options out there. So not every woman who says I'm on birth control is going to have a response to their sex drive, right? Because their hormones aren't getting messed up. Their hormones are normal.
Have low sex drives that are on them. The women that I speak to, they do have low sex drives because of.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yeah, but it just seems like a lot of the women I speak to, that is the number one cause of their sex drive to be low is the birth control.
How do you know it's not you?
Because I'm not dating these women. These are women that
you're not dating these women. Oh, so they're just talking. All right, so you're not dating these women. They're just talking. People can say anything, right? And maybe even the women themselves don't really know that it's not the chemicals that are in their body or the what's that thing? It's like an insertable, copper
IUD,
an IUD, right? So the IUDs, they're non-chemical. You know what I'm saying? They're not like that. They don't mess with the hormones. But who cares what they're saying? Like, what's that matter at all? It doesn't matter. You're listening to women talk about their sex drives. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, Ethan, how did these conversations come about? What are you talking about?
Well, I like talking about that in general because, like I said, my kid's mother was on birth control for years, and she barely wanted to fuck because of it.
Oh, and
it's true. It can't mess with your hormones like that, though.
Who these women that you're talking to now? Who are these women?
I asked my sister, like I said the other day. We had like a family event, and like we were drinking stuff. I even asked her that. She said, "Yeah, like I tend to not have I don't get horny like as often as I did when I wasn't on it."
Okay.
But even some of the women at work, they say, "Yeah, that's a problem for me. I'm not really like sex is not even a big thing for me anymore." I don't know.
But here's I would warn guys. This is what I would warn guys of. Don't automatically assume that it's because of that. Because in order for a woman to really know, she would have to get off of it, and then see what her sex drive does, or her libido does after that, to really say and point to it. Because she can say, "Oh yeah, I don't get as horny," and it could be true. But at the same time, if she get off of it and then she's like getting horny again, but with another guy, then it could be she just assumed it was that, but it's really the guy.
My point is, if that's even an option, if that's even like a little slight chance that would happen, it's not even be on it at all.
Well, no. See, you can't.
That fucked up us.
Oh, okay. But you got to remember, Ethan. There's multiple forms of birth control. So there's the pill, there's the patch, there's the shot, there's the IUD where they get it implanted in their I think uterus.
Right.
Well, let me holler at all my women that do that, because I had this trouble a couple of times. I'm gonna need y'all to get another inch or two put back there, because I can feel the shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how it feels on my dick here. You know what I'm saying? So get it pushed a little further back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But go ahead.
Well, Ethan, you have anything else for us, bro? Any other questions?
Yeah, but I'm saying that if there's even a 1% chance that's gonna mess with your hormones, they should just get off that, because that fucks with our game. You know, we're not gonna fuck as much.
Well, that's why you should just try to use condoms then, and put it on yourself.
Because no matter how much game you have, if these girls start taking all these birth controls and mess with the hormones and they're not horny, no matter how much game you have, you're not gonna be able to fuck them.
Right.
Well, Ethan, see, there's a number of reasons why women take birth control, and it's not just for sex. See, you're stuck on this sex thing. There's a number of reasons why women take birth control. I knew this girl who took birth control because it helped calm her skin down, because she break out a lot. So she took that really to help her skin, right? There's other women who have really, really painful and messed up periods. They take the birth control to keep their periods on a regular level schedule. Right?
There you go.
Where it doesn't have them doubled over in pain for 4 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? Where they can't even go to work. Like, there's so many different reasons why women take birth control and the different kinds they take. Like, you can't just be like, oh, if it messes with my sex drive, I should just not take it, right? Because that's coming from a perspective of a man who prioritizes getting sex, like you.
Ethan?
There you have it.
Yeah. Man, fuck this white dude. You don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Right,
no. You have a woman.
Wait. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Ethan. So you remember how earlier we was talking and you said as long as things don't get disrespectful, you good. Why are you being disrespectful now when Mr. Justin was just explaining different reasons why women might take birth control?
Know. He's a piece of shit, dude. He don't know what he's talking
Okay,
about.
all right, Ethan. I'm gonna let you go, bro. Thank you. Thanks for calling in because now you're the disrespectful one. Take it easy, bro. All right. So we got 973. 973, you're on the Manhood is a Skill Set show with Kay Zaggin, Mr. Justin, and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you? 973.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Blue
got
Steel.
you.
Hey, what's up? How old are you again, Blue Steel? How old are you again, Blue Steel? Cold Steel.
Okay. Hold on. Real quick before you go, Costa, give me a second. Shout out to Renee. She basically co-signed what Mr. Justin was saying. And I've heard women say this too. I'm not on birth control because I'm trying to keep from having a baby, because they're trying to regulate some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what doctors have figured out, that birth control has more benefits than just the prevention of pregnancy.
Exactly.
Right? I had a woman I was just with where she didn't have a period for damn near fucking 5 years. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? Because of the birth control, and she was loving it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that there is a fact to what he's saying. It's not his opinion, it's a fact. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Blue Steel or Cold Steel? Cold Steel. Cold Steel. What's going on, man? So what's on your mind today, brother? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a radical theory for you guys. I thought I'd bounce it off you guys, see what you think. So I think the women's sex drive matches and mirrors what the man's sex drive is, and the main reason for that is even though they're not gonna have a baby, they're not gonna have a baby every time they have sex. They can only have one baby every 9 months, but another purpose of sex is to keep the man away from their competition, other women. So every time he sleeps with her, that denies her competition, another woman, a chance to have a baby.
I've got a quick question for you, Cold Steel. Is this based off of your own lived experience?
Off of my own lived sort of, yeah, in a way, yeah.
No. It was a yes or no question.
Where did you hear that shit?
Right. So here's my point. Here's my point in asking this question. Do yourself a favor and stop coming up with theories. Work only off of your own lived experience. If you're not having enough lived experiences with women, go and create them. Get off your ass and stop theorizing. Get off of YouTube and take action in your life to create the things that you want to have, right? And then from that, you can gain information and then create your own ideas and start thinking for yourself instead of coming up with theories that you just pull out of the sky because it kind of maybe sounds decent and maybe logically coherent, right? It serves no purpose whatsoever to come up with theories about anything, right? And we shouldn't even call it theories. We call them hypotheses, because actually in science, a theory is actually the highest form of something that's been proven. And, what do they call that? Where, they get like a bunch of people together and it's tested and by a group of people, and they say, okay, this is the real thing, like the theory of relativity, right? It's solid.
Right.
So we need to change this shit to real game, no hypothesis.
Yeah, that doesn't sound so good though. That doesn't quite sound as good though. So man,
but you are right. When you look at the definition, you are right.
Yeah, quit using airtime to be like, hey, let's talk about this amorphous thing that we can play around with as a thought experiment, and instead take something from your own life while you have three gentlemen up here who are willing to offer you their minds and their voice and say, hey, I've got a question about my life. This is something that's going on with me. Right. What can I do to change it?
Right.
This is what I would say. Real quick, Miles. I'm going to pass it to you. A lot of times a woman's sex drive has nothing to do with a man. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're talking about menopause. There are women that go through menopause, they don't want to fuck. Or they have a hysterectomy. Right? And so there are a lot of things that women go through that men will never go through, that they can never explain to a man, and they just don't desire to have sex. So you cannot think this is again, and it goes back to what Justin was saying. You're trying to hypothesize or theorize something, and there's a lot of stuff you don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the woman, and there's a lot of stuff that none of us know nothing about when it comes to women biologically and a woman's anatomy.
Right.
Okay, women know it better than us. Y'all got it.
Like a lot of guys don't know about fibroids and ovarian cysts and shit like that. So there's a lot of shit with women. But anyway,
okay.
Cole Steele, do you have any other questions? Anything else you want to say, man?
Yeah, I'm bringing this to real life experience because I know that women become a lot more interested when I show that I have sexual interest in them.
Okay.
Sexual or romantic interest in them.
Right.
Then they become way more interested. Even though I was already pretty interested just from looking at them, but they become way more interested once I start talking to them.
Facts.
So this theory is gonna is why I think that it works out that way.
Right.
And it also so basically it's based on competition, right? To keep the guy away from her competition. Now, if the guy isn't gonna be sleeping with anyone, he isn't any competition, so she's not gonna be as turned on.
Right. But see, here's the thing, Cole Steele. How can there be competition when there's only one Cole Steele?
Oh yeah, exactly. So if she gets with me, then she doesn't have to worry about the competition of me getting with another chick.
So that's what okay. But that's not competition though. That's not competition. That's just it's only one Cole Steele, so there's no competition. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, there's no competition for me.
Right.
But the woman I'm talking to, she has competition from her frenemies or other chicks, right? So if she doesn't get with me, I might get with her competition.
Okay.
So if I'm a guy that's not afraid to get sexual, if I'm a guy that's attractive guy, that's why she's gonna want to sleep with me, even though she's not necessarily gonna have a baby.
Bruh.
Is to keep me away from her, keep me from having a baby with her competition.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate the insight, man. Thanks for calling in, man. And you have a good weekend. All right, brother?
You too. Have a good one.
All right. Take it easy, man. All right. I'm going to kill these lines. I'm going to kill these lines.
Guys, just a quick word of advice. Do not use the word frenemies. Men do not talk like this. Do not use the word frenemies. Leave that for teenage boys and women. All right. Right. Don't use the word frenemies. Come on now.
I think we need to do. I think 1950 came out with that. We need to have just a list of vocabulary, like for all you new dudes and dudes who just don't get it. The whole like there's a certain way you should just talk as a man. Like one of the things I'm big on assertive language versus passive language.
Right.
And I don't think guys understand how important that is because women pay attention to everything.
Yes, they do.
Women pay attention to how you say shit. Like I've been watching the Dear Mama thing with Tupac, and I'm watching his body language when he was a 17-year-old. He was very feminine with his mannerisms, very feminine with how he was moving his hands and touching his face. But as he got a little bit more into himself and started to develop his own identity, he wasn't. That was still deep inside of him. You know what I'm saying? The romantic dude, but you can tell he was just a little different. Mm-hmm. But look, let me tell y'all something. Women, look, check. I'm gonna tell this story and I'm gonna pass it to you guys. I talked to an ex-girlfriend recently, and she was telling me how she was semi-dating this dude, and she was sexually attracted to this guy. Like she called him Morris Chestnut with a beard. Right? She used the word fine to describe him. That's how attracted to him that she was. But she went on to say, she said, Carrie, the first time we had sex, there was a stain on his sheet.
Oh my God.
So she noticed the stain. She said about a month or so later, because the guy lived out of town. She went back to his crib. And she said, Carrie, I saw the same fucking stain in his sheet. And she said, not only did she not have sex with him after she saw that same stain, but she couldn't fuck with him no more. Because she said, Carrie, he's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Now, the first time she told me he was nasty, I thought it was his personal hygiene. And then she said, no, he was clean, but his apartment wasn't. So I'm thinking, when she says the apartment, I'm thinking she walked in and it smelled dirty dishes. So she was talking about strictly the bed sheet, nothing else. But she saw that she noticed the same stain and basically said, oh, you ain't changed your shit since the last time I was over here? I'm done. Women pay attention to everything. Go ahead. Yeah, I got it.
Well, I was just going to say, if y'all want to answer these questions, because it's about that time. Because I killed the phone.
Yeah, let's hit these questions.
Yeah.
Oh, and if we make a list like that, it could be called the dictionary with a K.
Dictionary.
There you go. Get about men, let their life defines the. Okay,
I read this before. Hastings, you need to learn how to type with grammar.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, bro. I don't.
Yeah,
make a video about how many men let their life defines their life, and some men define their life, not let their life. What?
I can't do it. I can't do it. Fuck it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, dog. Get Grammarly. Get Grammarly. Y'all need Grammarly. Anyway. So how are men the gatekeepers of sex when they're the ones who do the choosing sex can't happen without the female consent? See, these motherfuckers are lost, bro. They're really lost.
He's correct when it comes to males who are chasing after pussy, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got energy coming in, right? And then the person receiving that energy says, okay, I choose who comes in, who doesn't. Okay. But to men who aren't readily and always putting the dick on the market, right? Shout out to Steve. They control that gate, because when you know that you can affect a woman the way I was mentioning, okay, you know that is a powerful tool, right? And all you got to do is be able to convey this a little bit to her via the way you move, the way you hold yourself, the way you talk. And she's like, oh, okay, I think this guy's on the level. And then she's going to be coming at you trying to discover and see if you're really that guy. Okay. And that's when you hold the gate to sex. You hold the gate to relationships. You hold the gate to connection, right? Men with a capital M, they hold the gate to everything. Everything.
See, let me explain it like this. There's a reason why society is set up for men to do the initial pursuing and for women to be receptive. Mm-hmm. If society was never judgmental like it is now, a lot of women would be pursuing like a motherfucker. They would be. You know what I'm saying? The reality of it is most women, the majority of women, they desire sex. But they don't want to pursue guys for it because they don't want to be judged a certain way. So what they'll do is they'll put themselves in position for the guy to come up to them. And then they can pick and choose from the guys that come up to them which ones they want to get with. That's pretty much how it works. Women do not control sex. Number one, I want guys to understand something. Women and men have two different complaints about sex. Men have the complaint that they don't get it. That's most men's issue. They don't get it. Women don't have such a complaint that they don't get it. Women's complaint is they don't get enough good sex. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's women's complaint. Because like dick be raining like fucking hailstorms. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no problem with picking and choosing guys to deal with. They just don't get enough of it in a situation where they actually like it. But the problem is women can pick who they want to deal with when it comes to the physical aspect. Oh, he looks good. Let me talk to him. But what happens is when you deal with a woman and you actually talk to her a certain way and behave in a certain way, then she gives a better notion as whether or not you're actually going to be a guy that might actually can be able to fuck her right. Right. Which is why she'll deal with you. She might think another guy is better looking than you, but she'll deal with you because she feels like there's a better chance of me having a memorable, exciting experience with him than with him.
Facts.
Come on, man. It's the rabbit hole is deep in this motherfucker. Let's go, man. Like, y'all got it.
Next question. So yeah, because I gotta cut out.
You gotta bounce. All right.
So he says, so what's your thoughts on Stephen? I don't even know what's going on
Who
with
the
that.
fuck
Y'all
is
got it.
Steven Crowder? Hey, here's my comment on that, guys. Here's another thing for the man dictionary. Stop paying attention to gossip and the lifestyles and the things that are going on with other people in their lives. Just worry about yourself. Quit getting caught up in gossipy female nonsense. Okay. Asking about what's going on in another man's life and looking at what happened on this news website and that news website and what's being said on social media about this dude that you don't even know. Get your nose out of other people's business and get it into your business and your business only, right? Men don't worry about this shit. Talking like you're like tabloids. Come on now.
Bro, I don't even know who the fuck he is. I have no clue what the fuck going on with who the fuck he is. So I've seen various posts on Facebook.
Gossip. Are you kidding me?
Because I don't know who he is. I just skip past it. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not interested enough to find out. You know
Have you ever seen that guy that says like rape is like America doesn't have any rape culture, change my mind, or trans women are not women, change my mind, something like that? Like
I've seen like memes like that. Yeah,
he's like a conservative like content creator, and he does a lot of controversial stuff. And there's a video floating around about him arguing with his pregnant wife, and now his wife is divorcing. There's a whole bunch of shit. Yeah,
that's news to me.
There's the only good part about it is I think that there's a teachable moment in there somewhere, but I haven't had time to dissect it.
Yeah.
But
it's best to, if you're gonna learn, Art, if you're gonna learn off of or using situations to learn from, you don't know what all the particularities that were going on in that person's life. Learn from your own experiences, okay? Because kind of like when Andrew Tate got arrested, who cares? That's for his lesson, okay? Him doing what he does in his life and paying the consequences and this, that, and the other, or the benefits or whatever. How does that affect you? Right. How are you learning from that? You learn from getting your feet wet in life and doing things and screwing up and making adjustments and keep moving forward. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Those are the ways you have situations to learn from. You don't learn from sitting on YouTube and absorbing information. That doesn't make you grow.
You know what? And this is what I noticed about a lot of YouTube content and also social media in general. And we're gonna go ahead and end the mouth. I know you got to bounce. Let me just say this is what I noticed. Guys gravitate to content where women get reamed, where they get their comeuppance, where they get, yeah, you got that bitch. Yeah, you roasted her. Yeah, you told her. Guys gravitate to that type of shit. And my thing is, how does that help you though?
Right.
That doesn't help you because all you're really doing is kind of like seeing I know in Singapore, they used to do the public caning where they will, cane you in public for breaking whatever law they had. So all that does is it provides that stimulation for you seeing something happen to someone that you feel like deserves something to happen to them. But it don't help you though. It has no impact on your personal life. This is why Kevin Samuels was so famous and other, I'm not gonna name all the individuals, but this is why they were so famous because they would say things and guys would be like, yeah, tell that bitch, yeah, tell her, yeah, give it to her. And it's like, but how does that help you individually with your own personal issues? And I just want to point out, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, is there are too many YouTubers who all they really satisfy is the public lynching of women. All they really satisfy is tell that bitch something. Yeah. Okay, you're mad at a chick. You want to hear somebody who's prominent and got a voice and got views say something so you can feel better that somebody else has your same view. But how does that help you personally? Y'all got it, man.
All right, hey guys, get your soap. All right, get your soap. Masculine identity soap. I'm out of here, man.
All right, we out. Hey, like the goddamn video. We out. Real Game No Theory. 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Real game, no
theory.
It's time to summon the authentic players of the game. The authentic players of the game.
Let it be no confusion. This here is
Popping and locking over